Yo, what's going on, guys? Manny here, and welcome back to part 2 of the Chelsea past and present team. If you watched the first one, you'd have seen that we built this team. 3 at the back. We were using the 3-4-1-2 with this Chelsea team, and initially it was working. We won our first 5 games of the weekend league. From there on, we continued. I think I got to a stage where I was like 14-1 or something like that, 14-2, something quite ridiculous. And to be fair, with 3 at the back, it wasn't bad. As I said, it's a formation that worked earlier in the game, but now in the current way and current state of the game, it's very difficult to do. But initially what I was doing in either the 3-4-1-2 or 3-5-2 was having Hazard and Hudson-Odoi to come back on defense. And what that basically means is they're going to play as like almost a 5-back initially, but that's going to invite pressure from your opponent, but hopefully at the same time make it easier to defend in terms of defending against line balls and wing balls. But at times they were too deep and the opponent just had the gaps that they needed to, so what I did was change to a 4-1-2-1-2 central. I had my centre mids on cover wings, so I had that extra support for my fullbacks, and it seemed to work a little bit better for me. So some games I'd go into and I'd literally smash a guy with 3 at the back, and some games I'd struggle, so I'd go to 4-1-2-1-2. But yeah, overall, back to the team. I said that I would show you guys extra clips of this team. Who were the standout players? As you saw in the first video, the main man was Didier Drogba. That continued to be the theme. A very clunky card at times, but sometimes you can feel really swift and really strong. I saw Itani. I don't know if you know Itani is. You should do, otherwise you must be living under some sort of rock. But he said on Twitter the other day that on FIFA, the pace stat and the strength stat don't mean anything. What do you guys think? Is that a true fact? Does the pace stat mean something? Does the strength stat mean something? Because if it really meant what it was supposed to mean, this Drogba card should be almost untouchable at times. And sometimes he feels too easy to catch up to, too easy to shrug off the ball. But still, he was the main man in this team. He was the go-to guy, and he was the guy that scored a lot of my goals. And you know, he was playing up front alongside Shevchenko. Shevchenko, very clunky as well. I don't know what to expect from a card like that, apart from good finishing. And at least in that department, he didn't really let me down. But yeah, this team was pretty difficult to play with at times. You could see sometimes I was struggling to defend. As I always say though, at times that's just me being bad at defending and me not being able to cope with what my opponent can do. And you get games like that where it's just not going to happen for you. There we equalized, we go through a Drogba there, and his shot's blocked by Mateus' hand, and then this guy does this, gets Eusebio there off balance with the goal, and ultimately he took a 2-1 lead. But late in the game we got a penalty. Drogba steps up. Oh my gosh, Van der Sar's flown through the post basically to save it, and it just wasn't to be in that game. So that was one of our losses this weekend. We're still going pretty strong, to be fair. Like I said, the Chelsea team didn't feel crazy fluid, but at the same time I could get the job done using these players. And Drogba, look at that, nice across the box to Hullet to tap into an empty net. That was 2-0 in that game. Drogba and Shevchenko up front, not exactly what you want in a strike force in terms of fluidity. This game basically is based off agile players who can move quickly, but the thing that you'll get with these guys is they can finish, and there's an example of that there. The link-up play was good. I have to say Zola, very, very impressive in the cam role. At first I was very skeptical of him. I think he's got 96 finishing on the card as well. You guys know it's a card that we used early when the moments were released, but I gave him a second try, and I have to say I did really enjoy using him. I think he's very swift. If you use the left stick dribbling, if a player like Kurt had Zola, well, Kurt can't play FIFA right now, unfortunately. We're not going to talk about that, but if a player like Kurt had this Zola, he would be ridiculous, because the way you can turn with him, the agility is very, very high, and he does allow it, or make it very difficult for your opponents to deal with most of the time. There again, you can see Drogba inside the area. Most of the time, he will finish. He will finish in the area. That's what you're going to get from him. How about that from Zola for a bit of quality? Flick that over the defender's head. Beautiful goal, and we were pummeling this guy. You'll get a 1-2 here from Shevchenko and Drogba. Drogba here, going through, flicking up. I was just trying to score nice goals as well. You guys know how I like to play my FIFA. I don't just want to score sweaty goals. I don't always want to do a drag back to score. Sometimes I will score sweaty goals just like that. Shevchenko, again with the first time finish. He scored so many goals like that this weekend, but what do you expect? And yeah, I think overall, I have to say, attacking wise, it wasn't struggling. Defensively though, if I was in the 3-back formation, I would struggle a lot, and that's why you'll see in this video I've conceded quite a few goals, and that's due to either sometimes I'd start the game and forget to change formation, or sometimes I'd just be like, you know what, I'm good enough to beat this guy with 3 at the back. And yeah, this week I have to say, most of the time, attacking wise, we didn't really struggle to score that many goals. At times I did have to take Shevchenko off and bring on Hullet up front. That was the case. But overall, attacking wise, I feel like we were coping, we were doing pretty well. It was just defensively at times you'll see stuff like that happening. Desai not strong enough, and he concedes there to Memphis Depay. Hazard, player moments Hazard, a card that we used before in MMT. I have to say, he turned up this weekend, you know. I don't know if they did something, I don't know if it's after the recent bits of updates and stuff like that, but Hazard was really good. Off the left-hand side, Hudson-Odoi on the other side, really ineffective, but then again in a 4-1-2-1-2, at times I was playing Hudson-Odoi at left back, and that just shows you how much I didn't really care about the results necessarily. I was trying to do the best I could, obviously, but at times I just didn't really care. So Hudson-Odoi was playing at left back towards the end of this weekend league for me. I had Kante playing at right back, and I had Desai and Tomori playing at centre back. So overall, like, we were using a bit of a makeshift team at times because I didn't want to use Azpilicueta, I didn't want to use Marcos Alonso, and I felt like I was good enough to play with the cards that I was using in certain positions. And you'll see the amount of goals Drogba was scoring, very, very good inside the box. That's what you're going to get really from a card like that. You're not really going to get an agile, you're not going to get a Messi like Neymar, you're not going to get that level of turning. But with Drogba, you're going to get good finishing. Essien, the big Ghana midfielder. This guy, I've had the pleasure of seeing him play live in real life when he was playing in the Wembley Cup for Rebel, and he looked insane then. So I can only imagine what this guy was like as a player in real life, in his prime. This prime moments Essien can be absolutely ridiculous. I'm not sure if you guys saw the clip where he was breezing down the wing. I think I might have shown it already. So crazy that he's got like 88 pace or something, and it's definitely not a lie. He's very strong, interceptions very good, and overall just a tank in the midfield. And I feel like when I used him before, I did say he was a good player, but I didn't use him for long enough to see just the levels he could reach, and he is ridiculously good. Lampard had to sit out most of the games. He was sitting on the bench, unfortunately. I know it's really sad that I had to do that, but for what I needed in the game, he just wasn't doing it for me. Not agile enough, and he didn't have that same sort of impact that Essien was giving me. So Lampard sat out a lot of games. This guy featured quite a bit though. Michael Ballack, very, very good inside the box, very, very good holding off defenders, very decent dribbling as well. And you'll see there's one game or so in these clips where Ballack just literally tore it up for me. So initially I was bringing him off the bench, now I realised, you know what, at times we're going to start Hullet up front or something, we'll take Shevchenko out the mix, and then we'll go like that. So Ballack and Essien in midfield, and sometimes we had Mason Mount coming off the bench as well. And he was a decent player to use off the bench. Look at that, Kante, normal gold Kante scoring on his left foot. What would you would never even think that could happen. Normal Kante on his left foot passing the goalkeeper. This was a very difficult game though. Ben Yedder, the card that haunts me all the time, just causing all sorts of problems, and we had to try and deal with it. I did go behind a lot in this weekend league as well. I don't know if that was complacency on my end or just not enough belief in the side itself, but yeah, we did have to come back from behind quite a few times. We're going to have to do the same again. Drogba, nice work from the corner, and Shevchenko to tap it in. That's pretty much all he did all weekend. Shevchenko was scoring a lot of tap-ins, but at least he was getting them in those areas there. You can see again, Shevchenko with the finish. So he can finish, but no, would I say you should buy him? No way. He's under $1 million. He is a very clunky card, but the only thing he can do is really finish. Ballack, Essien holding it down in midfield for me. But there, you know what? Desai, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. So I had so many games like this where I was literally having to fight back all the time. Mason Mount off the bench having to equalise in extra time for me. And there were times where people were setting up so defensively, I didn't know how to break them down. But somehow I'd find a way late in the game. And there we've done it again. Hazard with the equaliser to make it 6-6. And then we went to penalties and his Neymar rattled the bar. So we went through on that occasion. And the Chelsea team was doing all right. I'm telling you, we were at a record of like 19-2 or something like that with this team, which is something I didn't expect. I thought maybe I'd get scrape 20 wins, but in the end it was obvious we were going to get 20 wins, and I was starting to use the team in better ways of scoring some nice goals, scoring some cheap goals as well. Don't get that twisted. Look at this one, we've hit the post there with Zola. He should be scoring really with that 96 finishing. Hazard across the box, and again Shevchenko just there to tap it in. So he gets into the right areas, that's all I'll say, but it's not a player that you really want in your build-up. Yet again, this Hazard turning up for us. So Hazard, star player, standout man as well. Zola turned up for me as well. Look at that finish. Drogba, Ballack. I think overall the team did pretty well. Defensively, Desai was good. Tomori was the weak link in terms of Centre-backs, I don't know, he was very shaky at times. He'd make the tackle, he'd go back to them, then he'd like fling off the ball, just like get flung past, and it was pretty frustrating at times. But Kante, I have to say, 92 centre-back Kante, I didn't expect too much from him. He performed for me as well. Obviously no goal contributions or anything to shout about because he's a centre-back, but overall I have to say, like, for most of the team, like, they were pretty good. Like, Kante, Tomori was okay at times. Sometimes he was the weak link. Desai was very good. And I have to say the other weak link as well. The reason why I conceded so many goals is Kepa. Kepa can't save anything, guys. It's actually ridiculous. Like, I was sitting in a Discord call with like Mav and Thomas, and I was just saying Kepa is literally the reason why I'm conceding, because anytime someone's shot, it would just go straight in. And I think 84 rating is low on a goalkeeper, but at the same time, it's high enough for him to get you through games. If you guys remember the previous FIFAs, Jack Butland was absolutely ridiculous, keeping people out, literally sometimes coming out with 15 saves in a game. So I expect a bit more from Kepa, and he was costing me a lot of games because literally guys would shoot at him, it would go straight past him. Look at that, like in the last minute of extra time, the goal that Calvin Phillips scored, I couldn't believe my eyes. Thankfully, he actually saved something there. We won on penalties, and look at that, Calvin Phillips breaking his ankle there to score that goal. How realistic. But yeah, Kepa was a weak link for sure, and one of the reasons why I conceded so many goals. But yeah, back to the strike force. Drogba, Shevchenko combining again. We got quite a few decent wins, and I have to say, this was one of my best performances in the weekend league over the last few weeks as well. As you guys know, a couple of weeks ago I was barely finishing my games, just about leaving some there, and now I have to say, since trying the past and present teams and doing that stuff, it's brought back a bit more fun into the game for me, so I can play games like this, and I can try and use the new players to enjoy it really. Mason Mount coming off the bench again in extra time, beautiful finish. And this game, I don't know, the guy didn't feel like the greatest FIFA player, but for some reason I was really struggling and don't know why. But here we worked it nicely. Mason Mount into Drogba in extra time, and we made it 6-5. And then Ballack, who came and scored 4 goals this game. Ballack scored 4 goals. Literally, there's my bit of toxicity. Sorry guys, had to shush him because he was acting like a donut. But yeah, Ballack came through, scored 4 goals in the final game, and we ended on 26 wins, guys, with the Chelsea past and present team. And half of those games we're using 3 at the back. And like I said, Kepa letting us down this weekend. Kante, very solid. Essien, really good. Honestly, I like this card this time. Ballack, impressive. Hudson-Odoi, ineffective, but like I said, he also played at left back. Zola, very good as well. Look at those stats, 15 goals and 18 assists. Shevchenko, 23 goals in 30 appearances, and Drogba, 37 and 25 assists in 30 appearances. So overall, I have to say, the Chelsea past and present team surprised me. Yes, at times it was hard to use them because they weren't the most agile, all of them. But you know, I think we did the job, and to come out with 26 wins, that's not too bad. But yeah, check out my rewards, let's see what we get, and let me know what you guys get down in the comment section below, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Guys, on your screen right now is the Team of the Week available. If you guys don't know, this is Team of the Week moments, and out of this, it's much better than last week. We have available 95, De Bruyne to get from the player picks maybe. 9 Golem would be a decent one. Koulibaly's there as well, and Lucas Moura. I don't think I want a Coman because I've used the highest rated version of his card, and it's nothing special. Inaki Williams is there, but that 2-star weak foot is a bit of a myth. Pepe, also not a card that we care about, but yeah. Let's head over, let's get the rewards. I finished on 26 wins actually with the Chelsea past and present team. So I finished in Fight Champs on 26 wins with the past and present team. Most games I was playing 3-5, 3-4-1-2 or 3-5-2. And that was very difficult, it was leaving me exposed. But we came out of that with 26 wins, and that's my best finish of champs in a while. I think before that was 25 again, but we got 26 with that team, so very surprised, I can't lie. Oh, I got relegated, so I get, what is this? Rare Electrum packs. These packs are going to be dead. Obviously, I had to do the icon swaps, so I'm not going to get anything special. Oh, do I have to like rank myself up to back to Division 1? I don't know if I want to do that. I can't lie to you. I don't know if I want to do that. Let's see what we get from these anyway. We'll just spam through these and then see. Blue card is German, and that's where the fun stops. Who is it? Who's that? Müller. I mean, you can go into an SBC. Can you really get an L from these packs? These packs are an L. as a whole, so I don't really expect anything. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Shocking. Oh my gosh, that is. What is that? What is that? What is that pack? Yuck. Oh, this might be decent. What's this? Walkout? Surprise us. Argentina. Right wing. Oh my days. They're still doing this late in the game. Oh, why is the Man United kit still on? We need to change that. We need to change that. I just did it for the past and present, and it's still there. I didn't even realize. I can't believe that. Elite 2, 26 wins. With the Chelsea past and present team, we get 3 player picks, 1 premium team of the week moments pack, 100k pack, and 100k coins. Ha. Ha ha ha. What did we expect, people? What did we expect from that? I don't know. Let's just see this. I mean, Lucas Moura, Pepe Reina, and Fraser. I don't understand how you can get one of the higher rankings. That's Elite 2, so that's top 100, Elite 1, Elite 2, and this is what you get. That is not Elite 2 worthy. That is not worth 26 wins and 4 losses. That is not worth that. 100k pack. Here we go. Change it up. Redeem yourselves. Don't always give me something bad. What even is that? Robertson. He's not blue, so we don't care. Salute my guy Robertson though. Then again, that doesn't look like a bad pack in terms of Robertson, Vardy, Kyle Walker. This could save everything. I reckon we'll probably get Pepe. 3, 2, 1, 0. Here we go. Just at least a walkout. At least a walkout. Okay, it's a walkout. Spanish, and that's where it ends. Inaki Williams. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that one. How much does he go for? Does he go for over 100k? Is that a dub? I don't know if that's a dub. 169k. To be fair, brother, I can't lie. I'm not going to use you. You are going to get shifted to the transfer list. 169k. We actually made some money on our rewards this week. We actually made some money on our rewards. Here we go. See you later. That is it, guys. That is what the rewards can get you. And yet again, it's nothing special, but to be fair, we made just under 300k, maybe just over 300k if you take into consideration the 100k pack. But we could do better. I mean, for 26 wins, if someone said, play my games, get me 26 wins, would you take 300k for it? That's a lot. 30 games. Would you take 300k as payment for 30 wins? I don't know. You guys can decide that. But yeah, feel free to let me know what you got in your rewards. If you got something special, something decent, tweet me. My Twitter's always down in the description below. But other than that, we're going to catch you next time. Hopefully, the next past and present team can do better than 26 and get top 100, so we have better rewards. Better rewards? I say better rewards for crapper rewards. That's how it works, really. But yeah, until next time, guys. I'll catch you later. Peace.
But it's not by chance, ain't talking lucky dips. Just kinda funny how it started from FIFA clips. Used to pay for the games, now the games pay me. Or your girl got you FIFA, I got mine for free. At the same time providing for my family. We're controlling the game like Nintendo Wii.
Controlling the game is just what we do.